Hey y'all, it's my man. My man's on. You're supposed to be resting, Log Home Dad. You are supposed to be resting. Y'all, I swear it feels like it's 100 degrees out here at 5:30 at night. I think it's 5:30. I'm not even sure. It is. I am literally, sweat is pouring down my legs. We have no air movement, so the heat is just absolutely stagnant right now. Trying to remember. It didn't even rain today, I don't think. Heck, I don't know. I've been held up in a dungeon all day. I've been down in our basement. That's where I do my cabin crates. So I've been down there the majority of the day working on them. But they're done and they're going out tomorrow morning. I was hoping to get them done before the mail closed today, but that did not happen. It takes me about, if I had to guesstimate on how long it takes per crate, it's about 1.5 to 2 hours per crate probably. And I had 25 crates this month. So between everything I do for each one of them and then packing, going in and printing, because I personalize each one, and then going in and printing the shipping labels. I'm shipping 22 of them this month, so that takes time. Printing those, cutting those, and then stuffing them in the, gosh, I'm sweating, the USPS flat rate envelope. They're a box, but I gotta stuff them in this envelope, and this month was a little difficult because their one end is a little bulky in it. So I had to get it down in there, and yeah, so that took me forever. And hey, Miss Cora, hey, darling. Miss Cora wanted to come and say hello. Look at those feet, y'all. She has got the biggest feet. They are huge. Hey, Miss Cora. Hey, baby. Hey, Miss Cora. Hi, honey. You went down? Okay, hang on. You gotta be real careful when you have them, and make sure you have their wings, because if they start flapping their wings, it's a losing battle. Those wings are strong. So you got to make sure when you're holding them under their belly that you also have your fingers up around those wings, because once those wings, even the smallest of chicken will beat you up with those wings, and they're surely getting down then, because it's hard to hold on to them then. But she's definitely my biggest. She's like, Mama, where's our food? So I have just been, and then, so Log Home Dad, man, he was spazzing last night, like literally spazzing in his legs and stuff. So he took a muscle relaxer, and every time he takes one, me too, not as bad as him, but the next day he ends up with a migraine and he's tired. So he is like dragging right now, and we have a few errands to run tonight. So he's, that's why I was surprised to see him on when I went out. He was sleeping. So, yeah, and I woke up with a headache too. I always do. I don't know what it is about that, but they make you really tired, to get you to kind of relax and fall asleep and stuff. That's why you take them at night. And we did, and he was worse than me today. So Mama Bev, girl, yours was super hard to fit. So Mama Bev's one of my cabin craters. And she's not really my mama, but I call her my mama. She treats me like a daughter. Better than my own mama. You're great. It does not look like everybody else's. I'm warning you right now. And I had to double stuff your crate into it. Yours is not completely different, but there's something different about your crate, and you'll know when you open it. So I was going to send you a message and let you know, but since you're right here, I'll tell you. All right, y'all. So I've got everything cleaned up. Let's see what I already went and got. Miss Anna has laid an egg under the board, like 4 or 5 days in a row now. So I've had an egg from Miss Anna. Hey, Miss Cora. one Easter egger. It's probably Miss Rose because Miss Isabel's been in such a tizzy with the way everybody's treated her. And then the other two, I'm positive, are Miss Cora and Miss Mary because they're not a thin-shelled. So Miss Violet is my thin-shelled layer. Don't know why, always has done it. Nothing I've done has made it any better for her. So, but that's okay. We love her. I put them in the fridge instead because they always have a little crack in them, not in the membrane, but in the shell. So you need to make sure you put it in the fridge just to keep bacteria and the air and everything. So I always put it in the fridge. And then we usually use those first. Lock it up here. Let me make sure. Yep, I set it down. Whew, I am burning up. Doggone, I'm sweating. I don't stink though. I'm glad I'm sure you want to know that, right? So I use this deodorant. It's super awesome. It's almost like a block of salt, and you wet it every time you put it on, and that stuff and it's for odor. You know, deodorant is not for keeping you from sweating. It's for the odor from when you do sweat. So, it's pretty awesome stuff. I bought it when my daughter and I went to Savannah, and like it's supposed to last like a year. It'll probably last longer than that for me because I don't have to wear deodorant every day if I'm not outside or anything. But man, that stuff is amazing. There's a shop in Savannah that sells it, and they also have a location in Melbourne, Florida. So they're pretty awesome. I'm very impressed by it. And of course it's not, it doesn't have all the aluminum and all that stuff in it. Look where they've been digging over there. Little stinkers. It's been wet, so I'm sure they've been trying to find a dry spot because we got a lot of rain yesterday. A lot of rain. So hey Sherry, I got a Cherry and a Sherry, or she might pronounce her name Sherry also. That's pretty awesome. That's a great name. So we got to run errands. So I don't mind going to Target. We got to go to Target. And then we got to go to Sam's Club. Thank goodness for that Sam's Club app. You download their app and you can check out on the app. And you don't have to go to a register. And then when you go to leave, you just show them the app. And there's a little code for them to scan. And you walk out, so you don't have to worry about standing in line. You don't have to worry about dealing with rude cashiers. None of that. Hey Lisa. So yeah, it's I love that app. Walmart, some select Walmarts have it, but it's not very many. There's a few in Tennessee that have it. I don't think any in Florida have it. So I'm not sure how Walmart would very much regulate it. I mean, Sam's Club's usually pretty good about looking over your cart when you're leaving and stuff, but I think it might be harder at Walmart to do. I told Lacombe Dad I really think there'll be automation by the time, not too long in the future that you basically, and I think a store tried it in New York. I don't know if it's still going on, but man, I could make $1 million on this. If y'all tell anybody, you tell them it's Lacombe Mom's idea. So, like when you go in, when things go in your cart and when you go to leave, you just basically walk through with your cart and it scans everything in your cart is my thought. So that would be pretty cool. That's $1 million idea. So don't y'all steal my idea. I know all y'all's names, so I'm going to keep track. Oh, goodness. Well, I think I'm going to hey, Amy. I think Marilyn. I'm going to let y'all go. What are you feeding the chickens? Oh, so, I've got mealworms. It's kind of their treat, and it's a nice protein. I mean, their food is a great protein. That they always have their feed, and we get a high quality feed for them. Not pellets, but actual crumbles. And then every day I give them fruits, veggies. There are things chickens can't have. They can't have avocado. They can't have onions. They can't have dried beans, things like that. There's about 10 items, chocolate. So there's some things they cannot have. So we go to the farmer's market every week, and my farmer's market loves us, and he lets me bring a box, and all of his discarded produce, I'm welcome to go through it and bring a box or a bag home for my babies for the week. If we're going to be gone the next weekend, so I can't get there, I'll get extras and clean it and put it in the fridge or freeze it, whatever I gotta do. So my girls can, when they take care of them while we're gone. But they're just awesome about it. So their favorite things are like melons. They love melons. They've got peaches today. They love broccoli and she's playing with it. They love broccoli and cauliflower, peppers, tomatoes, zucchini, squashes. If they're a super hard squash, I might put them in the microwave just to soften them up a little bit to make it easier for them to eat. And sometimes I make a little concoction of oatmeal, garlic, some DE, like garlic granule garlic, DE, and some oregano, which are all very good for chickens, very good for their immune system. And then in their water, I put vitamins, I put probiotics and electrolytes, especially in this summer heat. You want to make sure they have electrolytes and that they always have fresh, clean water to drink. So that's super important. And I know our babies are probably a little bit more spoiled than most. I mean, I don't have kiddos at home, and I'm the one for the most part that comes out and takes care of it and cleans it. So I'm always, even in their run, I pick up poop. I don't leave it laying. We have sand in our coop. We have sand in our run. And the sand, this is our Florida sand. Log Home Dad adds to it every once in a while because I'm scooping, their poop and all. So he'll add a little bit to it, but it's a construction grade sand, and it's perfect because you don't have to worry about water and mold and mildew. You don't have to worry about mice coming in, and I don't think a mouse could get in here anyway. We've got it really buttoned up. You don't have to worry about, any kind of rodents or bugs like building nests and stuff like that in the sand. And then you just scoop it like cat litter, which I love. And then about twice a year, all of it comes out. It goes into the compost, which is where we put all the poop I scoop. And then that'll go into the garden. So we do that about twice a year. And it's so much less expensive than straw or wood chips or anything like that. And it's a lot more sanitary for them. So it's pretty awesome. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite aspects that we've done to that and to the coop. And not just the sand, but so their roost is right there. I have a board there underneath. There's two layers there's two sections to their roost. One's here and one's a little higher. And that board catches the poop. So then I'm able to go in and just scrape the board. And I mean, a lot of poop ends up on that board. Sorry, y'all, my phone rang. So they roost there from, sundown to sun up, and so a lot of poop ends up on that. More poop ends up on there than anywhere else in the coop. So it's really nice. I have a big a construction scraper that's about 6-8 inches wide, and I just scoop all the poop and rake it into the bucket and put it in the compost pile. So that's easy, a great way to keep it clean, and I do it every single day. So I know a lot of chicken people, owners, don't do any of that they might do once a week. I even saw one lady that has this, it sags. It's almost like one of those covers for your porch, like an umbrella type material that you, like a sling you throw over your porch to keep the sun out. It's kind of like that. And I was watching her whole thing on it. So she drapes it underneath the roost, and then once a week she gathers it up and takes it out and washes it. And I'm like, oh, that smell would drive me crazy, because just the poop from overnight drives me crazy in there. That I wouldn't be able to wait a whole week. And plus, that would be heavy, having to lug that thing out of there and and then I can't imagine the mess. So I was like, not me, no way. And then some of them just let them poop on the ground, and usually it's some people have a thing called the deep layer method, and I don't even know how they deal with that. They put straw or wood chips in there, and when it's totally covered in poop, they just put more on top of it and more on top of it, and their theory is that it builds up and the gases will offset. And I'm like, that's just nasty. I could not do that. So I literally just go in and scoop, and every day. So I think our coop stays fairly clean because of that. So it's pretty awesome. I can't imagine the mess we would end up with that. So it's just a method that when I did all my research, I'm like, this is how we're doing this, and it's worked out really good. You know, there's been a few things we've had to tweak, but for the most part, everything's worked out really good. We're still trying to get them used to that water. Log Home Dad got that to keep out here just in case, because you cannot let a chicken dehydrate. It can kill them. So he got this. It's got a nipple system on the bottom. And let me see if you can see it. So it's got nipples on the bottom there, and supposedly chickens will drink out of it. I don't know if they're drinking out of it or not, to be honest with you. Because like that one there, they have a big one inside that I have to change about every 4 days, and this one there is just usually every other day. I mean, they go through a lot of water, a lot. So I hope that answered your question. That might be a little bit more than you were asking. Hey, Miss Corrine, I ain't seen you on in forever. Hey, Pam. You're a good chicken mama. Yuck. Hi, Janice. Well, yeah, he's quiet right now. Let me tell you. Oh, no, I'm so sorry to hear you lost your chickens. So when we started, we had no intentions of building a run. We were going to let them free range during the day. And so they were about, let's see. Trying to think of how old they were when we put them out. Maybe about 6 weeks when we brought them in here, which is probably about 2 weeks too late, because I mean they are a mess. And so we put them out in the coop, had no run at the time, and I didn't. They were too little to let out in the yard at that time, so we were waiting for them to get a little bigger. But the very first night on our wildlife camera was the biggest bobcat I've ever seen in my life. This guy, and we've never seen him here. We have another wildlife camera, and we know we have coyote. We've got 3 that lives in the woods right here. We've seen the fox on there lots of times, but the bobcat looked like it was almost as big as our Emma girl, our golden. And it was right on that stump right there. So the camera is right there at that tree in front of the stump. And so it caught it right there that night. And we've seen it several times since then. And I'm like, we can't let our chickens out. I mean, they would, and the time we caught it on there was at 7:30 at night. So it still was not fully dark yet. And we've seen the coyote during the day. We have the other night, so Log Home Dad, Mr. Mosley, have been out. We let him free range for 2 days and kept him in the other coop because he keeps flogging us. He got Log Home Dad the other day and wouldn't stop, so Log Home Dad ended up just putting him in there to get him. He finally grabbed him and was able to put him in. And in the other... in that coop over there. And so we let him free range for 2 days, and as Log Home Dad come to put him up, there was 2 Cooper's hawks. One was sitting on the fence post over there watching, and the other one, as Log Home Dad went to go get Mr. Mosley, he flew over. And so I guess one of them's usually the lookout, and the other one is the one that comes and grabs them, and it's like a distraction or whatever. So we're like, well, crap, now we can't let Mr. Mosley out and let him stay out. So we're still trying to find him a home. And and we have falcon, we have hawks all the time. We've got the huge barn owls. They sit up in the tops of our pine trees. And then we have eagles. We've had eagles here. So we've got a lot of predators, but when we realized how much was going on during the daytime, we're like, we can't let them out because they're going to get killed. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So that would just destroy me. So we hey, Miss Isabel, hey, darling. So we made the decision then to go ahead and do the run, and then they stay in the run. Lock Home Dad did a great job. He did it all by his own. People say, "What plans do you have?" And he points to his head. So all inside his head. So, yep, I would just die though. Mine are free range in the coop at night. Something dug a hole under the coop and got in. Yep. So when we built the coop, so you can see the coop does not sit directly on the ground. We have the hardware cloth that goes about 2 feet down. And then we've got cinder blocks underneath. And I mean, they would have to go 2 feet down and then back up and then get a hole into the coop. So we're fairly confident. And then you can see like around our windows, it's hardware cloth, and then Log Home Dad's got it screwed in. And then our doors completely button up. I mean, there's no room for error. If some sand gets in the groove of our door, I've got to take the scraper and get the sand out because it won't close, it won't lock. And then we've got a 3 locking system because raccoons have opposable thumbs, so they will definitely open a door. So we've got 3 locks on our run door, 3. And then we've got 3 on the coop door. So it's been quite a process. And like even so when he did the panels, the reason he did them, the panels go in the ground 2 feet. These are each a panel. They go in the ground 2 feet, and they're each separate panels. So it's not like, something can do something. But let me tell you what happened. So the Bobcat, when we saw it that night, I had come out to the coop the next day and saw something black on the hardware cloth. And I'm like, well, what in the world? So I looked closer as I saw the black, and we're pretty sure it had to have been the Bobcat. So right here, the Bobcat came on it, and do you see where he cut it all the way down? And the black was his blood. So he must have cut himself too, because that's hardware cloth. So he literally must have fell down, and he cut some of the little strands of it as he came down. He pulled it out over here. So we do have a little section right here that's kind of pulled out. But that is the Bobcat. So he has come and held on and must have slid. And so there was like blood, the black dried blood coming down here. So we're guessing it had to have been him because it was the next morning after we saw him. So he's got it really buttoned up, and that's like our only area of concern is right there. And that's it. Yeah. So, but there's 30 acres right here, undeveloped. The church, the Catholic diocese owns it, and that's about the only undeveloped land around here. So like all the wildlife comes to our property. I mean, we have seen, you name it, bear. Not deer. There's no deer over here because everything's residential around us. So we've seen bear, coyotes, of course. We have rabbits like crazy. The owls. We have 4 different kinds of owls, 3 different types of woodpecker, including pileated woodpecker, hawks, falcons, different types of hawks, falcons, eagles. We've seen the fox. So that's. I mean, we've got quite the plethora of wildlife that end up right here because it's just so built up around us. Like I can hear traffic as we're talking. So like our driveways, all the way back to the back here, back fence right back there, past the flag, that's where our property ends. So right behind our work truck right there is where the property ends. So from that end up to the road is 500 feet. So that's the main road. And if you watch, you'll see cars coming by. And it's a very busy road, an extremely busy road. So it's just 500 feet though. So we just have our little 2 acres with, right off of the road. And then there's subdivisions just everywhere around us. So that's how we are, y'all. Okay, well, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get in and get some more stuff done. And we're going to go run our errands, see how Log Home Dad's feeling. I got to refresh my coffee. But I hope y'all have an amazing day. And we'll see you tomorrow right back here at the cabin. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.